What's up, y'all? Back with another video. Today's video is going to be about hurt people hurt people. Everywhere you look, people are carrying pain that they never healed from. And because hurt people don't heal, they often end up hurting other people. And I know you heard this before, but a lot of people do carry around trauma and pain from mostly childhood, mostly from past relationships of people hurting them and they never healed from them. They always wonder why. And sometimes what I get from that is you never know. You really never know why people was carrying all this trauma. And I would say the easy way for me saying it is to let go, but that's easier said than done. And a lot of people hold on to that pain. And I was talking to someone the other day, and they was saying like, I don't know how to change. I'm such deep rooted in me that even if I try to change, I will always revert back to the same person that I was, and that they are. And like anything, say for example for the gym, it's hard to be disciplined. It's hard to be motivated, but you got to make that decision every day to want to change. You got to make that decision about what you eat, what you say, the mindset. Your whole mindset got to change because it's a mindset. It's definitely a mindset. It's a choice that you make. So, like I said, for the gym example, is you got to watch what you eat. You got to research what you do to be able to cut weight, lose weight, gain weight. You got to be able to show results by going to the gym. But a lot of people stop. And that's because they revert back to them old selves because they haven't made that actual change within their mind and their soul. You have to make a cognitive decision every day, every decision that focus on that new change that you want to change. A lot of people just feel like, oh, they stuck in their ways. People will always be who they are. And I do agree with people will always be who they are, but people will always be who they allow themselves to be. So if you want to be shit, you're going to be shit. But if you want to be a changed person, you're going to be a changed person because you made that mindset shift. And a lot of people don't acknowledge the reality that comes behind this. They talk about how common it is to see broken relationships, bitterness, and trust issues and unspoken trauma, but they don't do anything about it. They don't take accountability of, yes, I get that happened to me, but how can I change? How can I overcome this? How can I overcome this trauma? How can I be better? A lot of people be on the same cycle of, oh, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. But if you put it in your mind that you can't change, you can't do nothing about it, and that's your reality. That's the reality that you perceive it to be. Because if you wake up and be like, well, I'm gonna have a good day, then you're gonna have a good day. And no matter what happened in that day, you already said and claimed out your mouth that it's gonna be a good day. But if you say, I'm in a bad mood, I'm gonna be in a bad mood all day. My day's gonna go bad, and then you gonna hyper focus on that, and then everything is gonna go bad. Your time might go flat going to work. You may forget your lunch at home. Somebody might call you with bad news, but you already put it in the tongue is strong. What you say is strong. So if you already done said it out loud and said it in the world and said it in your mind, that's what you think. And of course you can't control your mind, but you can control yourself going down a rabbit hole of negative energy. Because once you think about something that's good, you just think about that thing that's good. But once you think about something negative, you're gonna be like, okay, well damn, I can't lose weight. Then I can't eat good. Then I am fat. But if you think I'm like, oh, I'm smart, I'm healthy, I'm fit, that's a fact. You're not going to go down a rabbit hole because you already thinking good. You only going to go down a rabbit hole if you constantly think negative, because it's always going to be something. If you think, damn, it's always going to be something, then it's always going to be something. You got to change your mindset and your thought process. Once you start thinking about something negative, cut it right off then. No, I'm not thinking about nothing negative. It really takes a effort, 100% effort for you to change, because you can't control the thoughts 9 times out of 10. But you could control the constant thoughts of negativity. And the root cause of hurting people is many people were never taught how to heal or forgive or process their emotions. A lot of people be on the same cycle of, Well, like I said, it is what it is. But a lot of people don't take accountability and want to actually change. They don't want to change. It's easier being complacent and comfortable. When people start feeling uncomfortable, it's like, oh, it's just too much. But you got to embrace that uncomfortability, because uncomfortability, it breeds you to become another person. It breeds you to change your mindset. It breeds you to be able to embrace all the trauma and all the things that happened to you in your childhood or past relationship, because that will happen in the past. Just because that happened in the past, let that be a learned lesson for how you move in the future, because that's not who you are. That's not how you want to be treating people. Just because that happened to them don't mean that will happen to your future kids, your future relationships, your future anything. Because you want to be different. You know how it feels to be put in that situation, so you don't want to hurt people that didn't do anything to you. And you'll be able to pick out the red flags of how the triggers, how it felt in the past. So once you feel triggered, you don't tie your emotion to that, because you already realize that's trying to keep you in the same cycle of things, and you don't want that for yourself. Like I said, the impact, it hurt spreads to friends, family, relationships, and it feel like a ripple effect. Because you don't hurt this person, you hurt that person, you don't got hurt by that person. And I'm the type of person that's like, I show love regardless if somebody hurt me. And maybe that's a God's gift and a curse at the same time. But I feel like just because somebody hurt me in the past, I will not allow that hurt to make me treat someone who never did anything or just now meeting me. I won't treat them just because I got hurt in the past. Because that's not unfair and that's not of God. And you really have to make that decision, and you really gotta keep yourself accountable to realize that these new people haven't did anything to me. And just because somebody did that in the past don't mean that they're a bad person. Some people just hurt, but that don't mean that you should still allow them to have access into your life. And like I said, just shift the perspective. Healing isn't just for you, it's for the people who came after you. Like I said, they do not deserve you hurting them because you've been hurt. Because somebody hurt you don't mean you have to hurt someone else. Because that karma of you hurting someone else because somebody hurt you, you're going to get that karma. And you're going to get that karma tenfold. And the call to action is encouraging you all to start their healing journey. And even if it's uncomfortable. And because healing breaks cycles. Healing breaks cycles of you doing to someone that someone done to you. And the reflection of this and the support elements that I have is we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Many hold on to imagined fears and past wounds. So many people think, well, it's bound for somebody to hurt me. It's bound for somebody to do this because somebody did that to me in the past. So that's like I said, everybody, for example, usually males who dated in high school, they remember the first person who broke their heart or their first love, they broke their heart, and they think everyone is like that. Oh, all these women are trash. Or all these dudes are trash. Or all these dudes, they put them in one category because they've been hurt. And like I said, it's a lot of lemons out here. It's a lot of trash out here. But it's not going to make me think that all men or all women is like that. Because I'm one of the ones that is not like that. So if I know I'm not like that, it's other people out here are not like that. Yeah, they're going to be hard to find, but it'll be worth the wait than just to get with somebody just because you feel lonely. Because they're going to hurt you because they haven't healed themselves. And it's rare. Just because it's rare doesn't mean that you're not going to find it. And even if you don't find it in the moment or right now, be that person that heals and be ready for your blessing. Be ready to be blessed by others. Be ready for you to get the joy, to get the peace that you deserve because you're worth it. Don't downgrade your worth because you feel like you don't want to be alone. So the Bible verse is Psalms 147, verse 3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. The Most High, He heals, but you have to want the heal. You have to embrace the heal. You have to be uncomfortable while you're healing because that builds the healing. that makes you overcome the traumas and the triggers that you have based on those wounds. So don't pass your pain onto others. Pause, heal, and grow. Even when you be able to identify a trigger, breathe. When I realized it's your perspective. And once you get in your mind, like say something happened. Say something happened that you triggered. You're gonna be feeling anxious in that moment. You're gonna be feeling anxious that you just trying to, try to let it out, try to let it out. But I realized once you breathe, because this is just your reality, this is your perception of reality right now. And it's only affecting you. The world stays the same. Everything around you stay the same, but you so in your head, you so anxious, you just feeling triggered, you feel like you start sweating, there's something going on. But once you realize and take deep breaths, I try to take 10 deep breaths. I don't try to react. I try to take 10 deep breaths. And once I realize after them 10 deep breaths, I realize this is just in my head. This is just my perception of it. So once I get out of that, the trigger mindset that I was just in, I started realizing it's not that deep. It's not. It's never that deep. It's only deep to you because your feelings attached to it. But once you get that your healed side of your feelings, you will not let that bother you. It will just be water under the bridge. Because I'm not saying you will never get triggered, but it's how you react to those triggers. You don't always have to crash out. You don't have to crash out. Just breathe and be able to just see it for what it is. You don't always have to have the answers, but you can focus on how do you react to those things. So the closing line that I have for y'all today, if you don't heal what hurt you, you'll bleed on people who didn't cut you. The world needs healed people, not just hurt survivors. So that was a word. That definitely was a word. So, like I said, don't be the person that hurt someone who did not do anything to you. Be optimistic. The pain is inevitable. Being hurt is inevitable. Somebody, coming into your life and you don't know if they're going to do you bad or not. But God says you have to love them regardless. And in loving them regardless is not giving them access, or it's not allowing yourself to indulge in what's not meant for you. And when I say, even if the form of love is also letting go when you need to. And because you know your worth. You know who you are. You've a healed version. Once you heal, you become a healed version of yourself, and you realize that's just wasted energy. And I'ma love you even that I know that you could hurt me. But I'm not gonna love you or give anything, because God love you. God love you regardless. He know we sin and everything, but he love you. God wants us to love each other like he loves the church. And I know that's strictly for he giving us for men to love his wife, but he want us to love each other like that. And like I said, just love. Even if someone can hurt you, and if they haven't showed you a sign of, because people can hurt you. I'm not saying people can't hurt you. People are going to hurt you. People are going to make mistakes, but don't let the mistakes be disrespect. What I'm saying. And like I said, if it comes to disrespect, learn to love, and love is letting them go. And that will give you more peace of being able to let them go, because your self-worth is more than letting them have access to you and constantly and continuously disrespect you. So that's the end of the video that I have for today about hurt people. Just if you have any questions, or you feel like you have a revelation that you got to let off your chest, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I definitely will want to interact with the comments, and just what I'm saying, like, good information, or did it help you out or anything like that. Like I said, thumbs up this video, like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bar for more topics or more content like this. So hope y'all enjoyed this video, and be blessed.